lost Mikey. What happened to Mikey? Oh boy. Anyway, welcome to the NerdDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge post-game show here live exclusively on the Jeff Meacham Network. There he is. There's Mikey. I can't hear him though. Can't hear you, Mike. Your mic's muted. There we go.
Hi. Well, I'm wearing a mask.
Hi, hardy, hard. Very funny. So welcome to the NerdDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge post-game show here exclusively on the outlets of the Jeff Meacham Network. I am, of course, Jeff Meacham, your host of WTC. To my left is our resident Statboy Mike Caldwell, who is joining us pandemic ready with his Angels basketball, which I guess I'm in Dodger blue for day 2 of Dodger baseball, so I guess it works out. Hey, you know what? You need to not be like your boy Christian and not be able to root for both, okay? Different leagues.
Yeah, well, whatever.
No, not yeah, well. Okay, don't start with me. I will die on that hill, and you know I will. All right, so we just got finished watching another rousing rendition of the WTC. Honestly, Zach did better than some people have, and he happened to have the luck of the draw, if you will. Another one of Greg's shows, luck of the draw. It's just a matter of coming up with the right questions, coming up with the right the timing of your question delivery. If you happen to get a question great. If you get a question you don't know and Greg knows it, that's just your shot of luck. So,
yep. I think that was what happened when I faced him. I knew his questions. He got a couple that I knew without a doubt. It's a 50-50 shot, and that's what happens.
It happens more frequently than everybody will care to admit that they just happen to come up on the short end of the stick for the random draw. It just kind of is what it is, unfortunately. A couple people in the chat room, JB3, I like the post. Thank you. We actually started doing this when we brought the WTC to Greg's channel, and I found myself doing jack shit on Fridays. So I want to do a post-game show. All right, now Chris Cass is a causing static, so I'm gonna give him crap right now. First of all, go Blue Jays. I like Blue Jays just fine. That's Drew Daddy's favorite team. So there you go.
Okay.
Now here's where we have an issue. I looked up China in Playboy. She was on the cover of the November 2000 issue and won the title April 1st. Yes, you are correct. She did win the title in the 6-month period. The question was, who was the first? Sable was the first. So if I said only on the show, then I apologize for me being a dick just now, but I'm pretty sure I said first. So, because I knew that Joni was one of my dear friends. Of course, I remember that she was a Playboy. And actually, if you really think about it, she almost did it twice because she was on the January 2002 issue of Playboy. So, it was close. She was champion within the 6 months. It's just that she, wasn't recognized as champion after Judgment Day. So, yeah. Right. Anyway,
small little technicality cause so many problems.
I just took over a wrestling trivia league. It is very exciting. I can say Greg is the man. You know what? He has been the man for over 2 years now. He's one of those guys. And speaking of the man, to be the man, you have to beat the man. And to be the man, you have to have your belt on your shoulder when Jeff brings you into the stream. And there he is. Greg Cherry. What's up, brother?
It's the champ.
Can you hear my audio better? I actually set up my pro microphone this time.
You sound fantastic. Dude, this is the best I've ever heard you sound since we've done shows ever.
Okay, well then I'm using my microphone for all future shows.
Good shit. WTC will be lit this this coming week.
Yeah, it should be. Rewind should be good this week, especially since it's fully loaded.
It's fully loaded. It's just, I like what you did there. All right. But no, it is a damn good pay-per-view, and with good equipment, it'll be wonderful. So.
Oh, absolutely, and my streams will be better as a result. Yep. It'll be so much easier to use everything.
So, from what I was seeing in the chat room on the other channel, which, by the way, youtube.com/Greg Cherrybrand, if you missed it, go back and watch it right now. It's on demand now.
Well, watch it later. I mean, if you I mean, you know what happened if you're watching this.
Yeah, champ belt. But 881 is guaranteed.
Yes, 881 is guaranteed. Inching ever closer to that road to 1,000.
That's it, man. We are.
I want to get there.
Yeah, we are.
And you know what I think we should do? You know what I think we should do? And this is nothing. We've talked about this as an idea that conjured in my mind.
Oh,
should I actually get to the Black Friday episode
right,
for $9.93 against Virtue,
right.
that one I think should air on No DQ's channel.
I think it should too. I really do. That could be a monumental day for all three of our channels. I mean, really,
absolutely, because we'll get the exposure.
right.
People who haven't seen the show for whatever reason because they're not subscribed to my channel, and if you're not, why not? But people who have watched Wrestling Trivia Challenge or whatever have missed it on the No DQ channel just because there's 50,000 subscribers over there, and I got less than 1,000.
And there's 50,000 videos over there to go through, so you know.
Exactly. So I feel like hyping that up is a big event. Should I make it there? Because it's still not guaranteed. I still got to make it through the one on August 7th, the one on August 21st, in September, October, and November to get there.
Yep. You still have roughly 8 weeks of TV, so you know. Yes, sir.
Jeff, it looks like JB3 has a very good question for Greg in the chat room.
He does have a good question. He wants to know, Greg, do you study or just remember from years of watching?
When Aaron used to do the questions, I only used to study the No DQ stuff because you have to realize the stuff that's going to be on Trivia Challenge, there's no possible way to study because it encompasses 30, 40 years of wrestling. So there's no real way to study because you don't know what material is going to ask. So really, a lot of it is great recall.
Yeah.
And it has to be.
Yeah, that is the one good thing I'm grateful about my memory loss since my 2 accidents, my 2 concussions. My wrestling stuff is pretty much intact. I'm eternally grateful to the wrestling gods. No, not you, John, about that type of thing because, or excuse me, not you, Moose. I'm grateful because we were able to have stuff like the Iron Man match last year. Without my wrestling memory, that would have been about a 10-minute show and 15 minutes of me drooling. Like it would have been. So, yeah, it's luckily a lot of this wrestling history has been documented or cataloged by WWE record keeping. So it's all on the network now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
and in the off chance we get a TNA or an AEW question, which we saw both of those involved in this show,
yes,
you just kind of have to know. Like not everybody's going to be subscribed to the network, Impact Plus. I know AEW doesn't offer a service yet because they've only been around for a year and some change, but you have to know. There's a reason why we don't ask New Japan questions on the show because not everybody follows it. It's not as popular here in America. I mean, some people do still watch it
now, but
but like New Japan history is not asked on the show, and that's kind of by design.
Right.
It's not a knock to the great wrestling that happens in New Japan whatsoever. It's just that WWE, TNA, WCW, ECW, and AEW are more mainstream than New Japan is.
Yeah, and thanks to DVD and network offerings, we do have quite a good chunk of NWA and AWA stuff too. So it's not out of the real possibility we'll get those questions down the line. It's just a matter of what's available. And Chris Cass makes a great point. When I was a kid, most of my friends had shelves of Disney tapes. I had shelves of WWF tapes I watched constantly. I had both. I still do. Like there's a Mikey's been to my house. There's a little I forget what they call this tabletop credenza's not the right word. Anyway, it's like a tabletop shelving unit. It's got those hideously ugly Disney clamshells they sold in the 80s and 90s. It's like the whole library is there. I could have my own Disney Plus if I wanted to because I still have them. The wrestling tapes got boxed up when we became digital. I'll be honest with you. They're probably in the garage. They're probably ruined because of the floods and everything. But I had the original Attitude Era WrestleMania box set. So 1 through 14 was right there.
Right.
Actually, I think I sold that at the garage sale that one year. I think
you did. I mean, it was almost tradition after every pay-per-view in the 90s before things started going to DVD and digital and all that stuff. We would either go to the local Blockbuster and rent the current videos at the time, or we would go to Target. We would buy the stuff, and we would just have stacks upon stacks. We'd put them in order. We put them in order of pay-per-view. We put them in order by way of who they were about, and whenever we just wanted to watch an old match, just, plop it into the DVD player, and there you go. Or the VHS.
The VCR, yeah. The funniest, the first show that I went to that I was able to purchase a VHS copy of, I bought from my job because I bought the classic previously viewed tape of WrestleMania 2000.
There you go.
So that one I have in a safe because I don't have my WrestleMania ticket. So I'm like, okay, the hell with this. I'm making sure this gets saved at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my WrestleMania 24 ticket is somewhere in the catacombs of. We'll find it when we move, I'm sure. So the next opponent, Greg. Again, you've got the footage. You are the editing master of the WTC as well as the trivia master. So who is the next sacrificial lamb? I mean, contestant.
I believe the next contestant is Scott.
Scott, okay. Scott!
I believe.
Yeah. Scott!
Oh, by the way, to people asking me privately during the show, the reason there was a August heavy question stuff on there is because I was damn sure this show was going to air in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So I goofed on my question distribution. That's my fault. So there you go. So because once we get going and once Greg says that number, it's that's where we're locked in at. If Greg says there's 867 days in, that's where we sit. So
we're at 868 tomorrow.
Yes,
I officially double CM Punk's WWE Championship reign.
That's right. There you go, brother. Love it, love it, love it.
I'm shooting. I don't know if I'll reach Hogan's. Like Hogan's WWF Championship reign from 84 to 88. I don't know if I'll hit that, honestly, but
I think you will.
I believe, and Statboy especially can correct me if I'm wrong, that this right now is the longest wrestling-related championship reign, or close to it, in almost 35 years.
I had planned to say that on the air today because I was going through and looking. You are the longest reigning champion of any kind, trivia, whatever, wrestling related, since March of 1999 when Dan Severn lost the NWA championship. Because Severn was champion for just over 4 years, as was the Hulkster. So those two are like neck and neck, but either way, you're at least 25 years going back. So that's still
my guess from my own memory here. I think you're approaching Asuka's undefeated streak. I think she crossed 900.
If we're talking the undefeated streak, yeah, he's definitely on that.
Well, undefeated streak includes NXT and then
her
Mania. All the way up to Mania 34. So I'm. Right. Let's see.
Yeah, if WWE is counting the actual days, which they do, it's just over 900. So if Greg gets to the 1,000, he'll pass Asuka's streak too.
Yeah, I'll pass Asuka's
because he has right. So
let's hope there's no Charlotte between now and end of November.
There you go. Well, you have Michael Gonzalez saying, I think Virtue can get the upset. He's got to get past these other 4 or 5 people first.
I have to get to Virtue first. Yeah. And here's the thing, to quote Jeff. If I decide it's like, I'm just looking towards Virtue, like that gives me like serious PTSD thinking of that time. I was like, I beat Jeff once. I can beat anybody, blah, 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 blah. And then, the no DQ screw job happened and I wasn't champion for 6 months. But which I'll take some blame. It was my own fault, part of it. But, I went into the match overly cocky. And you notice, since I became champion, I don't have that same mindset.
No.
Since March 10th of 2018, I don't have that upset. And that loss against Jeff is still the last loss that I have in wrestling trivia. It has been almost 3 years since I have lost.
Now, in defense of me, because I was defend me at all times.
Yeah.
I was just the challenger. Aaron was the one that put you up the rear with no lube on that one. That was his bad, not me.
I'm not blaming you, Jeff. I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just recalling the events as I remember them.
Oh, trust me. There's a reason I didn't wear my no DQ hat today, because I knew it was going to come up at some point.
Yeah, and also that was the institution of the Greg Cherry rule,
because of Greg Cherry getting screwed. Exactly.
Which I've still contested is like it's been a rule in all trivia game shows since like the 70s. So,
right. It should have been a rule to start with. It just wasn't called a rule at all until
I made it.
Right.
Until I made a big stink about it. And,
well. Let me just say that this reign has more than made up for the faux pas that Aaron.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Number one. Number two, like you said, we're trying to get to the season finale. One way or the other, the season finale is going to be a grand affair. Mm-hmm. If Greg's there, that's awesome. If not, then we'll still have a little bit of a party and whoop-de-doo, whatever. But the post game is going to be lit if we get to a competitive, decisive finish. And I will leave you with that on the post game of the final show.
I haven't been told any of this, in case anybody's wondering. Nope. So if you're planning some like big surprise party or something, I know nothing of this. I can just speculate and lose sleep at night thinking about it. But my biggest thing is I have to get there first.
Right. And trust me, I'm not going to make it easy for you, nor am I having the people sending me questions make it easy for you. And I will say this. I will give everybody in the room, everybody watching, this little snippet of information. The first of 2 shows in September is on September 4th. 2020. It is the 25th anniversary of the debut of WCW Monday Nitro, almost to the day. It's on a Monday, but it is the same day, right? That show will be WCW/Nitro Heavy. So there's that little bit of nugget to. I'm giving people a chance to study, and whoever's on that show. And by the way, we've not taped that show yet. Let me just throw that out there right now. So when we get to September 4th, it'll be a WCW/Nitro centric television show. I'm also thinking of something similar to that for the season finale, but I don't know if I want to go there or just make it a 2020 generic.
See, when you do them too themed like that, then it's.
Well, I mean,
I like it being general. Like I don't mind like you having like Nitro related questions just because of the anniversary. Like
right now, here's
I have a question on that.
What's your question?
Would it make a difference really, or have you ever considered maybe like just focusing on one topic and just doing?
Doing those shows to make it kind of arduous, and you'd beat it to come up with 20 questions for like. Let me put it this way: when I defended the Mark World Order Championship,
right,
we had or no, it was when I challenged for it and won it. We did an entire show on just In Your House Bad Blood. An entire show.
On one show.
One show.
Wow.
I can't even remember 20 things that happened in Your House Bad Blood.
Now, see,
that's my point.
We'll see, at least with, like for example, if I was to do, like for the season finale of the show, it's the night after Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. So that could, in theory, be Survivor Series / Starrcade. There's more than 20 questions worth of material on those two histories. So
right, but again, wrestling trivia challenge is not.
That's silly. So
my point is, it's supposed to be more general knowledge. So if you give, we're not supposed to have the opportunity to study up on what we know.
Right.
So I understand your point. Like, I don't mind if there are WCW like themed questions on the September episode, but when you make it themed, you give everybody a chance to study. And it's like, hey, if you want to be champion, you got to know stuff. You either know it or you don't. You don't get a chance to study. So,
okay. Well, for that one show, I'm being nice to you and whoever the hell I've got. I forget who's lined up for that show, but anyway,
it does more of a service to them than to me. But hey, whatever.
Hey, you know what? Just because they know it's going to be about that one or /2 particular topics, figure that's 7 years that I can pull anything out of my ass from, and it's Chef Meacham questions, which Greg knows is legendary for evil. So, so
if they're Jeff Meacham questions, we're both screwed.
No, I'm having Mikey vet this. Don't worry about that. I'm having Mikey vet it. I will say that Big G's sending questions for a future episode.
Okay.
I will say that your boy Fame has already sent me some. He's getting fed up with me because I keep going through his damn questions so fast because you keep whooping ass and taking people out. So, but you know what? Fame understands. He gets it. He knows why. So,
well, he tries to stump me too. Like
I know he does.
So I have no qualms about that. And
No.
when he's up for Luck of the Draw next month, then I'll like give him some shit. But hey.
Yeah, speaking of Luck of the Draw, we have not really focused too much on Luck of the Draw on any of my shows here on the channel because we've just been so the world is so batshit right now. I haven't been able to focus on anything outside of wrestling on this channel. So fill everybody in for people tuning in the first time or seeing you for the first time on one of my shows besides Rewind. What is Luck of the Draw? Where can we see it? What's going to happen?
So Luck of the Draw is a game show that I came up with back when I was in college. It takes the combination of Texas Hold'em poker and like Nickelodeon style game shows, and it mixes them together. And all it is, hey, you play cards. If you lose a hand, you suffer the consequences of that. And depending on how I structure the game, it's basically last man standing.
Right.
Whoever is the last person standing with the least amount of punishments wins the game, and they're the lucky one, essentially.
Yes, they've obtained Luck of the Draw. It's as simple as that.
I'm recording a version of that this weekend, actually, with my friends Chris and Nat from Scotland for the Reaction Room. The two of them are going to play it against each other, and they're going to get so ridiculously messy. I'm going to laugh, which makes the game I'm having in August game number 20.
Nice.
So it's going to be a big game. And I'm hoping that everybody who said they're going to show up shows up, because there is a possibility with as many people as that are coming that I'm going to do Tag Team Turmoil.
Ooh.
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
But that's if enough people show up.
Right.
I'm trying to get like 20 people there. And yes, I'm aware it's a pandemic, but the game is outside, so it's not that big of a deal. So everybody was like, oh, it's a pandemic, you can't have people over. Shut up. I'm getting something out of this year, damn it.
That's right.
If I don't get my 1,000 days, I'm getting the best damn game of Luck of the Draw anybody's ever seen.
Well, I would promote the fact that I'm wearing a Greg Sherry brand shirt and say that you can find Luck of the Draw on the shirt on the Greg Sherry brand Teespring, but my shirt's being displayed by somebody not sitting up straight like a good boy in school. So wait till he sits up, then I can promote my own stuff. Oh, there we go. There it is.
I can't help that I slouch.
Slacker.
No, I'm not a slacker. I'm a slouch. There's a difference. No, I'm not slacking.
No stat boy in the history of Hill Valley man anything. Slacker. Anyway,
hey, you didn't even notice I got rid of the quarantine beard.
I did. I was going to wait till Greg finished his pitch to point out the porn stash. Excuse me for being courteous to our champion. It's so funny, dude.
We'll grow back.
We were actually talking about the old Enterprise days earlier downstairs. I was talking with Teresa about that. So good old Ray and everybody.
I'm the Ray Larkin of WCC.
You are now.
You know, you never had a stash like this.
Well, God bless him for not doing that. Greg, so Rewind this coming Wednesday. You mentioned Fully Loaded. That was a Jeff to Greg. I'm sorry the fans voted for Raw 1000. Jeff, it's like my bad, dude. Because okay, I was talking with people that were at that show. I talked to people that worked that show, and Raw 1000 was a shit show. It was awful.
It really was, and it's kind of indicative of the 3-hour era of Raw.
Yeah, that was the first, and 5 matches. The main event, which granted it was John and Punk, and it was still decent but like we said during the show, it was not their best TV outing they ever had.
Yeah,
that match was longer than the other 4 matches combined.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. And I get the, hey, Brodus was having fun, but he knocks out a freaking certified badass like Jake Hager in 16 seconds. Huh? No, sorry. No. And this show we're doing this Wednesday is more than going to make up for it. This show, this is one of those shows we get when we do the Attitude Era where we go, this is the Attitude Era. This is it right here. We've got Rock and Benoit. Yes, Benoit's in the main event. Yes, we're going to promote that. Yes, we are going to praise Benoit's efforts in this match.
Yeah, because you know what? We all know what he did. Okay, we all know. Exactly. We're not condoning that. We're going to look at his wrestling ability in the confines of that, and we're going to leave it at that. Yeah. If you got a problem with it, take your woke ass somewhere else, because I'm tired of this political correctness bullshit. We know what happened. We're not stupid, but can we enjoy the positive things in somebody's life instead of invoking cancel culture? So
God bless.
You don't like it. That's what I think.
No, and you know what? It's just one of those things where we're so quick to brush things under the rug or forget things rather than, you know what? Yeah, he did what he did, but the previous 18 years or whatever it was, 20 years, it was actually good. So that's the main event. The second main event, because it was a triple main event as advertised, was a last man standing match between Triple H and Chris Jericho. Now, those two at the top of the card. If Benoit doesn't do what he did, that's 4 Hall of Famers right there. Boom.
Yep.
Then you've got The Undertaker and Kurt Angle. At a time where Kurt Angle was still getting his feet wet in the industry, but this feud, they went, oh, okay, yeah, he's good. We got this. Mm-hmm. So you've got that. You've got Val Venus and Rikishi for the Intercontinental title in a cage match. Rikishi, top of cage. We shall move on from there. He all of a sudden thought he was his Uncle Jimmy. I suppose Little Jimmy from Ron Killings. APA against Edge and Christian. Perry Saturn against Eddie Guerrero. Yes, they face each other. Yes, Terry and Chyna are both at ringside. So Terry and Marlena back at ringside against each other. That's always shenanigans. Taz versus Al Snow. And the opening match is a mixed tag team match. Trish's first pay-per-view match. Trish, Tess, and Albert against Team Extreme. This show, and not one match is under. There's 2 matches that are 5.5 minutes, but it's Taz and Al Snow, which whatever, and APA and Edge and Christian. It's because probably Edge and Christian got themselves DQ'd and ran like hell because they're scared of Ron and John, which I don't blame them. So that's what I want to see. So what I'm debating keeping people on viewer's choice, because I love that we involve the people, and I want to involve you guys, but you can't keep picking shit shows. You can't. Okay, this month we got Raw 1000, which, it's a monumental show, but it's a shit show. Next month, Greg is the only person I know on that vote that actually is happy with the way the vote went down, because we're going to watch a show. Exactly. It's like, if Greg's not at that show, I don't care.
If I'm not at that show, who gives a shit? But SummerSlam 95, which was a one-match show, let's be honest. We all know what match that was, and clearly it was Kama and The Undertaker in a casket match. But
no, that's not true.
Sorry. Alundra Blaze and Bertha Faye. All right. So okay.
Yeah. Scary part is they're both Hall of Famers if you count other besides WWE Hall of Famers from something. And you know what? That dentist was a imposing figure. He should have been something in the business, and they didn't do a thing with him, and it's a damn shame.
Yeah. So, wonder whatever happened to him.
I heard he died.
Maybe he ran into politics like some other wrestlers.
What's that? What'd you say?
I said maybe he went into politics like some other past wrestlers.
Yeah, I think he ended up going into mechanic work first, though.
Oh, okay.
And then maybe some pyrotechnic work or something. I don't know. Anyway,
that sounds like he'd be burned with that gimmick. But hey,
fuck. Okay. Greg wins that round. We'll move right on. Jesus. If you guys don't know we're talking about Isaac Yankem against Bret Hart, please just leave. Just go away.
Seriously, always wins.
Well, that's why he's the champion for 881 days in 2 weeks. So it's that's kind of stuff JB3 were talking about. He and I can joke about the fact that Kane had about 25 gimmicks before he got to be the Big Red Machine. So we just know that stuff. It just rattles off. So and to be fair, Chris Cass makes a good point. Sean Waltman and Hakushi was a good match too.
It was. It really was. But it's not known for that match.
Well, no, because honestly, at that point, Sean was not quite the 1-2-3 kid he was in '93. Like he was starting. I love you, Sean. You know I love you. He was starting to get into the bad place. So it's
It was better than that eye for an eye match. I'll tell you that.
Oh God. Yeah,
Greg, since you're here, can I get your opinions on the pay-per-view, please?
Might as well, since we're all here.
Extreme Rules had good in-ring action, but very weird finishes.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine who kind of has a no or whatever, and I pointed out every show this particular week, starting Saturday afternoon, that is a show that doesn't have the old man on headset has been damn good. Slammiversary was really good. Tuesday's Impact was the best I've seen in a minute. NXT and AEW were both really solid shows. SmackDown's going to be on in about an hour, so I may or may not see that. I actually have a concert I'm going to at 5:00, so we'll see how things play out. But anyway,
we need to find out what happened to Braun Strowman. Where is he? Where's the title?
Braun Strowman is currently in the Swamp of Reincarnation, along with Matt Hardy's fourth gimmick and Jeff Hardy's sobriety. So it's there you go. Yeah, I said it. I mean, I don't care, and people are gonna hate me for it. And so see, Cena Sucks 76 says, "Congrats on the win, champ. Road to 1,000." I think we can leave it there with a definitive. Greg is still the champ after 867 days. So. We can find he doesn't suck. No, Cena far from sucks. He actually had the smart sense to walk away when it was time to walk away. So, Bali for him. Greg Cherry can be found on social media. And where is his stuff? There it is. Twitter,
Instagram at Greg Cherry Brand. Follow me both places.
That's it.
You can, of course, watch Luck of the Draw and Wrestling Trivia Challenge on the Greg Cherry Brand YouTube page.
Just don't have one of those. I don't know why I don't have that. But you can
I'll get you a Luck of the Draw graphic at some point.
There you go.
And if I do Tag Team Turmoil, I might break it down up into episodes, but we'll see.
There you go. And of course, if you want to buy this shirt, are you wearing one of your shirts, Greg?
I'm not. I'm wearing. I typically wear my shirts, but I didn't do much of anything today, so it's like for my stream I'll wear my shirt. For when I film with Chris and Nat, I'm going to wear my Luck of the Draw shirt because I'm going to promote my own merch. It's what I do. But buy a shirt at teespring.com/stores/Greg Cherry Brand. Plus, my greatest wrestling trivia mind ever shirt hasn't come in yet, so I'm waiting on that. Yes, right there, the greatest wrestling trivia mind ever. I'm waiting on that shirt to come in. That should hopefully be here before we record next, but if it's going to be a Nitro heavy episode, I don't want to wear it in case like something goes awry.
That's right.
But there you go.
Well, better awry than awry. Anyway, you can follow, you can buy my stuff at teespring.com/Jeff Meacham Network. You can follow me on Facebook at Jeff Meacham Network and on Twitter and Instagram at _Jeff Meacham. The gentleman to my, where am I at here? Camera to my left, you can follow him at LBStack1977. That is his official Twitter. He won't get on Instagram because he doesn't have enough pictures to post. He thinks he's wrong, but he thinks that. So, let's see. You can also where's all my shit? You can follow our boys at Aftermatch Wrestling on YouTube. There's their graphic I created for them. Whoop-de-doo. 2 weeks from now, of course, Wrestling Trivia Challenge will be back here, actually on the Greg Cherry Brand. That'll be our August 14th? No, 7th. August 7th. That'll be the next show for WTC.
I'm going to tell you right now, if it was August 14th, I would not be available for the post show.
Oh, there you go.
August 15th is Luck at the Draw. I'm going to be a hot mess going into that week. So, yeah.
And then, of course, next Friday, right here on the Jeff Meacham Network, you can catch JJ and I doing Dads on Wrestling. The topic is not in my brain at the moment, so you have to forgive me. I'll have to promote it as we get closer. Our boys, Aaron and everybody else at NoDQ.com. Check out the latest news, opinions, features, whatever. And Aaron, of course, will have coverage of SmackDown tonight on Twitter and the SmackDown recap show at Aaron Riff NoDQ on YouTube. We will leave you with a image I saved just for Greg because a win's a win for Master Cherry, and I have to promote. I got a little bit of static for the racy picture of Natty on
That's a beautiful picture.
Rewind. Yeah.
So rewind. So I will leave this in the background, and I will take us off camera, and we will see you guys next week right here on the Jeff Meacham Network.